Alright, what's up guys? It's APOC here. Had another fantastic weekend this weekend. I don't know if it was as good as last weekend. I only had one really serious good pickup, but it was a really good weekend. Did find lots of stuff. So, well, as always, we'll go ahead and start out with the small stuff, and then work our way up to the really good one. We only had one trade this week. I traded my Super Mario Land for the Game Boy for a Nintendo 64 game, Pokemon Snap. So that was a pretty good trade. I think the Super Mario Land goes for like $5. This Pokemon Snap's like a $15 game, so that was a fantastic trade. Picked this up at the thrift store. I had never seen one of these before, oddly enough. It is a Nintendo NES Satellite. It's got both the receiver and the place you plug in the controllers. That was pretty sweet. $6.99. So, like I said, I'd never seen it before. I guess I was looking on eBay. These receivers go for like $10 or so, and then combined they go for like $20. So $7 for it. It's in pretty good shape. The only thing is it's missing the back cover. So hopefully someday I'll find that. Alright. And then on to the stuff I found today on Saturday, garage sailing. There was no listings on Craigslist for garage sales with video games. So pretty much all day was just freestyle from garage sale to garage sale, hitting every sign that we could find. So one of the earlier day pickups is this one here. When I walked up, this was the only video game stuff that I saw before I asked. It was Gauntlet Legends, Player's Guide, and Spyro Ripto's Rage, Player's Guide. She had 50 cents on both of them. I asked if she had this game, and she was kind of paused for a second, so I really kept pushing. I was like, you know, I'm looking for the Nintendo 64 version of this game. Do you have this game? And she goes, you know what? I actually do have this game. Hang on one second. And she went inside her house. I'm sitting there just dancing. Like, all her stuff was really cheap. And it's like, yeah, she's going to bring out that game, blah, blah, blah. And when she came out, it was Gauntlet Legends, but it was for the PlayStation. It wasn't for the 64 like I wanted it. I asked her what she wanted for it. Case is faded. Disc is in good condition, has the manual, so I'll just have to swap out the case. I got it for 50 cents, so I wasn't going to argue. For 50 cents, it goes for like $14 or so. And then I got both manuals for 50 cents, so that was a pretty good pickup. Another one just kind of went up, asked if they had video games. They said no. I always go through CD stuff. If it's a lot of CDs, I just kind of briefly skim through them, but if there's a small amount of CDs, I'll make sure I go through every one. I don't know how many times I've walked up to a garage sale and I was like, do you guys have any video games? They go, no. I start looking through their CDs and then I see PlayStation. These things look like CDs, and half the time people have no idea that these are video games, or maybe they got donated or just whatever. Always look through the CDs. I asked her what they wanted for these, 50 cents a piece. So I couldn't beat that. I got the, as you can see, I got Gex. It's complete. Oh, what's up with these cases I got today? Like, everyone's broken. Just disc only, NFL Blitz. I doubt this one's worth anything, but I picked it up anyway for 50 cents. Music Generator. Music creation for the PlayStation. MTV. It is complete. It's got everything in there. This one has the manual and the game, but it doesn't have like the back cover art or anything. Oddworld. Abe's Odyssey. It's got the disc. And this case is broken too. Alright, here's this one. I'll wait on that. This one, massive, huge garage sale. There was like 5 different people at this garage sale selling stuff. Kind of just went from person to person asking if they had anything. Nothing. Then I went through this one guy's stuff, you know, pretty quickly, but normally I catch everything. Went up and asked him, I was like, hey, I'm looking for this, you know, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and he's like, nah, dude, I don't got any of that. And I said Game Boy, and he's like, oh, well, you know what, I do have a Game Boy sitting over there on the table. I was like, really? I didn't see it. That's probably why I missed it. It was just sitting under a bunch of stuff. I mean, normally I catch this. Screen's in good shape. Looks like someone took some Sharpie or something to the keys on the pad or something. Hopefully I'll be able to clean most of that up. Other than that, it's in pretty decent shape. Doesn't turn on. He didn't have a charger or anything. I can pick one up at here in town for like $3 or $4. So we'll go grab one of those, see if it works. $4. And it's the AGS 001. So it's not like the really nice one, but for $4, it's not too bad. And then this one, I was kind of hoping the deal was going to be a little sweeter. Actually, it turned out to be okay. I'm not really going to complain too much. When I walked up, I went through all their stuff, and then I asked if they had any video games. Both ladies who were running the garage sale, their eyes lit up and said, yes, we need to get this stuff out of here. Please, please take whatever you want. And I was like, okay, this sounds like, you know, it's going to be pretty good. What do you got? I'm like, I'm looking for Nintendo, Super Nintendo. She goes, we got both. Just hang on one second. Let me go ask my husband where it's at. She goes and runs inside and asks her husband. She comes back outside and she goes, oh, it's in the garage in this cabinet. She goes and pulls it open. I mean, it's just like dust comes out of there. This stuff was caked in dust. It was probably sitting in there for 15 years. She pulls out a Super Nintendo. And actually, other than the dust, the Super Nintendo is in great shape. There's no yellowing on it or anything. No cracks. No nothing. I'll tear this thing apart and clean it up. And this, you know, as long as it works, will be a great looking. It came with all the cords and controllers. And then it came with, or there was an NES there. All the cords, controllers for that. And there was only one game, Terra Cresta, which actually I checked up on. $20 game, so that's not too bad. Asked them what they wanted for everything there. She said, I don't know, make me an offer. I want this stuff all gone. So I said, would you take $20 for everything? She goes inside and asks her husband, comes back out, and she's like, $20 each, right? $20 for the NES and $20 for the Super Nintendo. I was like, I was gonna do $20 each, or $20 for both of them. She goes, oh, okay, hang on one sec. She goes back inside and talks to her husband, comes back out. She said, you know what? He won't budge on $20 per. The NES was really yellowed, was in really rough shape. Asked if she'd take $20 for the Super Nintendo and the one Nintendo game. She said, sounds good to me. They also said they might have other video games, so I may stop by tomorrow. They're going to try to dig out more. So that was a decent pickup. Alright, getting down. I got two more small pickups. Hang on. What was the other thing that went with that? Oh no, it was just this. Came across a garage sale, and I hope these guys call me back, so we'll have to wait and see. There was this GameCube controller still in the package. Great shape. They said $2 on it. I offered them $1. They said, yep, sounds good to me. And they were like, are you into video games? And I was like, yeah. Do you have anything else? And she goes, we've got this box of controllers. And she comes out with like 5 or 6 PlayStation 2 controllers. They're pretty dirty, but she goes, you can just have these. We just want to get rid of them. I was like, yeah, okay, sure, sounds good. Do you have any other video games? I'm looking for Nintendo, Super Nintendo. And she goes, you know what? I actually have a Nintendo 64 in the box that's sitting around here somewhere. So her and her husband go just like tearing apart the house. They said they had just seen it. They know it's around here. They couldn't find it. She said, I just want it out of here. I want it gone. Can you leave your number? And she actually offered, she goes, can you leave your number so that you can come pick it up once I find it? So that would be awesome. I would love to come make you an offer on it if you can find it. So let's see if they actually call me back. You know, it's few and far between when they actually do call you back, but it is what it is. Like I said, I got that Gauntlet Legends player's guide. At the beginning of the day, the second garage sale I stopped at today, I asked if they had Nintendo and then ran down the list. She goes, yeah, I got 2 Nintendo games. They're not here. They're at my house. Could you stop by later after I get a chance to run home and grab them? It's like, yeah, sure, no problem. I got to take my daughter to horseback riding lessons. I can always stop by after I'm done on my way home. And after everything was done, this was the last garage sale we stopped at. I told my daughter, I was like, hey, let's stop by this and see if we can get lucky and see if she actually went and picked up her stuff. I walked up to the garage sale and she goes, oh, hey, you came back. Sweet, I had a chance to go run back to my house and go grab those 2 games. She came over and this was the first game, Pipe Dream for the NES. Like, okay, that's pretty sweet. She goes, this was the other game I had. How does that work out? How do I pick up the PlayStation and the player's guide and the Nintendo 64 game all in one day? Whatever. Asked her what she wanted for both of them. She says, I don't know, just make me an offer. Said, would you take $2 for $2 a piece? So $4 for both. She said, hey, that sounds good. Sounds like a good price. This thing goes for like $30 alone. Fantastic. I was so happy to pick up that. It capped off the day. Probably because the pickup I had just got. I mean, I got all this stuff today, minus the Gauntlet Legends and the one NES game at the very end. It was pretty much, that was all I had all day. I was, feeling like it was a good day, just there was no bundles that I picked up. Last weekend I picked up 3 monster bundles. The weekend before I was able to pick up a couple good bundles. I was just like, you know what, it just doesn't feel right that I didn't pick up one bundle all day. The second to the last sale redeemed the whole day again. So let me know in the comments below if you think this one was better than the one. It sounded like the Nintendo 64 was the best bundle of all 3 of the ones from last week. If you haven't seen last week's video, it'll be in one of the links right up above here on the cards. Watch that, see which one of those 3 you thought was the best, and then see if it compares to what I got today in this bundle. Alright, let's get to it. So I walked up and I asked, do you guys have any Nintendo, Super Nintendo? And like I always do, run down the list. She goes, yeah, we do. And I saw behind her she had her front door open. And there was a box sitting there with a Nintendo and a Super Nintendo sitting in the box. I was like, I'm looking for that right there. She started laughing. She goes, yeah, that's my husband's stuff. That's the stuff that he wants to keep. I've sold a lot of Nintendo games earlier today, but that's the stuff that's left over that he wants to keep. I said, is there anything that he doesn't want or that I could make an offer on? And she walked inside and came out with 2 64 games and a handful of NES games. I think there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 total games. I asked what she wanted a piece for them. Before I even looked at them, she said $1 a piece. So before even looking at them, I said, sold. I'll take all of these. Asked, since I got last weekend, I kind of got box crazy after I got that one Super Nintendo pickup with all the mint boxes. I was like, do you guys have any boxes, any manuals, anything like that? Again, she started laughing and she's like, my husband's mom just came over about a week ago and brought this massive box over, and all it had was just paperwork, boxes, empty boxes, and all manuals and all sorts of stuff. And I was like, we're moving, we don't need this stuff. I said, do you have it around? Because I would love to make you an offer on it. She goes, yeah, it's in the garage. I don't know. I have no idea where it's at. Again, I pressed a little harder and I was like, I could help you. I would, like I said, I collect. I would really love to take this off your hands. It sounds like you guys don't want it. Is there any way we could go take a look for it? She goes, yeah, it's not too bad. We walk over to her garage, and the garage is like 10 by 10. It was this little dinky garage, and it had shelving in it. Everything was nicely placed in there. I mean, it took us like 2 seconds to walk over and pull it off the shelf. You know, she may have not known exactly where it was at, but it only took 2 seconds for her to walk in the garage and pull out this box of just insane stuff. So if they ever say, yeah, it's in my attic, yeah, you know, ask, push just a little bit more. Be nice about it. Don't, you know, be a dick or nothing, but push just a little bit more. And this stuff just, it pops out. Anyway, so I got these for 10 bucks. We'll run down these real quick, and then I'll show you what else I got for 10 bucks. The Nintendo 64 games, Wave Race for the 64. Nothing too fancy. And then another cool one, Excite Bike for the 64. NES games were quite a bit better. Alright, we have Codename Viper, which I don't have. Marble Madness, which I don't have. Cobra Triangle, again another one I don't have. Pinball Quest. Fighting Golf. Roger Clemens, MVP Baseball. And then the two best ones of the bundle. Ninja Gaiden 2, The Dark Sword of Chaos. And I have the first one. And then the best game of all of these, and it actually gets sweeter on top of this. Mega Man 4. Great pickup on this game. We're going to run down the rest of the stuff that I got in that box from her garage. Now all the games, all 10 games, like I said, were $10. This box I got from the garage is all $10. So starting here, this was all 10 bucks. Doom for the Jaguar. Box is in pretty dang good shape. That was in there. Last week I got a Super Nintendo box for the controllers. Well, this week I got the NES box, and this one's actually in pretty good shape. As well as Zelda Ocarina of Time. This one's got a few dents in it and stuff, but not too bad overall. I'm going to be hanging on to this. I actually did get the manual with this as well, so now I have a complete boxed Zelda Ocarina of Time. Then, for some reason, after I saw these two sitting at the very bottom of the box, I knew this box was sitting in her garage waiting for me. All my NES games are in these blue plastic NES original containers. All my N64 games are in these green N64 cases. After seeing those, I was like, yep. Then we'll run down all the NES boxes that I got in there. Probably be parting with these except for one of them. Want to try to have as mint condition stuff as possible, but I know with this older stuff it's kind of hard to. But I got Fighting Golf for the NES, Super Mario 3, Super Mario 2, Pinball Quest. As you can see, a lot of these are squished, or they have tape on them, or some of them are missing the flap on top. Chrysalis, The Battle of Olympus, Defender of the Crown, The Adventures of Link. I have no idea how to say this. Faxandu. And the one that I'm probably going to keep, Dracula's Curse. I did find one other box that was in good shape that I'm going to be hanging on to. The memory card box for the N64. Great shape. And then last week I got the Super Nintendo cleaner, and I also got the N64 cleaner. Well, this week I got the NES cleaner. That was a pretty good pickup. And then the last two boxes I got here are Super Nintendo boxes with manual, Donkey Kong Country. And I have the map, manual, and box to Zelda Link to the Past. And then one more N64 box, Perfect Dark. And then last but not least, we'll run down the manuals here. I got the Dracula's Curse manual, Chrysalis, another Jaguar game manual, Theme Park, Duck Hunt and Mario Brothers, that Faxanadu, however you say that, the Defenders of the Crown, Adventures of Link, the Roger Clemens MVP Baseball, Super Mario 3, Super Mario 2, Dragon Warrior. Here's the Ocarina of Time instruction booklet, GoldenEye 007, couple more of these consumer information packets. Each one of the 64s came with one of these, so to complete it, not only do you need the cartridge, the instruction manual, these discs, and I believe it comes with one other piece of paperwork. So good to always get a couple more of these instruction booklets. And then down to the good stuff. I had Mega Man 3. After seeing this, again, I was hoping that they had the Mega Man 3 NES. He may have hung on to it. It may have sold earlier in the day. I'm not sure. But I have that instruction manual when I do find the game. And then to go along with Mega Man 4, I do have the instruction booklet to Mega Man 4. So, great pickup on that. So, on that bundle that I just got there, what do you think? Do you think that bundle beat out the N64 bundle of last week, or the PlayStation, or the other boxed set that I got last week? Just leave that comment down below and let me know. Other than that, that was pretty much it. I had a good weekend again. That's 3 weekends in a row. I had a really good weekend. Awesome pickups. I think in total, I probably spent $65, $70 on all the stuff here. So not too bad at all. Should make most of that back in those boxes and manuals alone that I'm not going to keep. So yeah, fantastic. If you liked the video, if you could drop a like down below, that would be awesome. As well as, like I said, comment, tell me which one you thought if this one was better, or one of my last week's lots were better. Let me know down below, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. We're getting up there. I think now we're at 16, 17 subscribers now, so please subscribe and hit that like button. So yeah, if you guys found anything awesome, please leave that in the comments down below as well too, and we'll shoot another video at you next weekend. Talk to you later.